Hello and welcome. My name is Suzanne Longstreet, and this is my presentation to you called Invisible to Invincible. It's time for you to make a difference in the world. And I want to share with you some ideas so that if you're feeling invisible in your life, in your business, or your career, you'll be able to move forward confidently and step into feeling invincible. Welcome. You're here because you're overwhelmed and struggling to figure out how to get out of your own way. I know, I've been there. And because you're feeling stuck and invisible in your business. Oh, and because you're searching for clarity to grow your business and your income. In this session today, you're going to discover how to get clarity on what you can do today to be more successful and grow yourself and your business. You'll discover how your brain is wired and how it's keeping you invisible. And I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can change that so that you can take action and move out of being invisible and be able to step more fully into being invincible. I wanted to share a little bit about me. I am a mindset mentor, and I coach and mentor clients to achieve their highest potential, to believe in themselves, to get greater confidence and greater clarity. I've been doing this since 2011, so that's a few years now, and I also have several designations in the world of neuro-linguistic programming. I'm an NLP trainer. I'm an NLP trainer in I'm a trainer in NLP, NLP coaching, hypnosis, and timeline therapy. Today, what we're going to talk about is the thoughts and actions that are keeping you invisible. We're going to talk about the real cost of staying invisible and how it's keeping you stuck. We're also going to talk about how your brain is wired to keep you invisible and some effective steps that you can implement immediately so that you can get clarity and results as a result of just listening to this short video. Here are some of the symptoms that you might be experiencing if you're feeling invisible in your life. You're probably feeling overwhelmed, which may or may not be leading to procrastination. Perhaps the procrastination is leading to the overwhelm, or the overwhelm is leading to the procrastination. Either way, neither are good. You might feel inauthentic. You might be feeling something that I call comparitis. And that is when you're looking at other people and seeing them be successful and wondering why you're not as successful as them. I call that comparitis. And comparitis often leads to frauditis. That's when you find yourself lacking and you're feeling like a fraud. You might be running imposter syndrome, all of those things. Which is leading you to just want to stay in your comfort zone. Don't want to try anything new. Don't want to step out of the box. You might be in fear of picking up the phone and calling somebody even after they've expressed interest in working with you. Believe me, I've seen it all. I've experienced all of this, and I'm happy to tell you I'm out of that. You might be afraid of being seen or judged. Another symptom of being invisible, which is leading also to not asking for the business. People want to be invited to join you. It's great when they just know to hire you. Seldom happens. Everybody is still looking for that invitation. They want to be invited to work with you. They want to know what you're doing, and they want to know that you're open for business. Oh, and here's another one, the fear of rejection. You might have one, you might have all 9, or you might have somewhere in between. Whichever one you are, that is a symptom of being invisible, and I'm going to give you some ideas to get you out of that. Here are the effects of being invisible. You're hurt when people don't remember you and they buy the same or a similar service that you're offering and they buy it from somebody else. You feel like it's a waste of time and energy, that you have so much to give and no one can see you. They can't find you. They don't know where you are. That's part of the effects of being invisible. Here's some more. You doubt yourself. It feels like something is missing and everything is just really hard. You should yourself. I should have done this, I should have done that. You should have not said this, you should have not said that. And you wonder what you said or did wrong. You fear speaking up or asking for business. And you know what you can offer to others, but no one seems to know or to listen to you. So what's the real cost of being invisible? Well, it's the number of years that you've been invisible or have been stuck in your business times your potential revenue. So if you know, let's do some simple math here. If you know of somebody who's doing well in their business and it's similar to yours or the same, and you know approximately how much money they have made in their business. I'm talking about revenue. So say it's $100,000. Say you've been in your business for 3 years. You've been stuck and you haven't been able to figure it out. So you take the 3 years and you times it by the potential revenue, and that's your number. That's the real cost of you being invisible. So that's $300,000. So say you've made $20,000 or $30,000 a year for the last couple of years. Let's say 30 because it's simple math. So 30 times 3 is 90. So your potential revenue is 300 and you've made 90. So your cost of being invisible, your opportunity cost, what's really the real dollars at stake here, is $210,000. Is that enough to motivate you to take action? I know when I heard that number, I was staggered because, quite frankly, for me, I'll share with you, it was closer to 5 years and around about the 100K mark. And so I realized that I had been wasting time, money, potential. And when I heard that number, it really did give me the impetus and the motivation to move forward and do something. And so I'm sharing that with you now so that I hope that you get that realization as well, that you're willing to now take action. So what's your number? What is it? Be real with yourself. So let's talk about some of the things that are keeping you invisible. Let me talk about how your brain is wired. And this comes right out of the neuro-linguistic programming training that I deliver. And I wanted to give it to you so that you can really see who you are and how you're wired. This is your biology. So something will happen. And it comes into your awareness through your vision, your auditory, you'll see it, you'll hear it, you'll feel it, you might taste it, and you might smell it. So we call that visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory, or VACOG for short. So that information comes in at about, believe it or not, 11 million bits per second. 11 million bits per second. And that number comes from the research that Csikszentmihalyi did in a book called Finding Flow. And he's written a number of books about flow. It's also referred to as getting in the zone. So when you're focused and when information comes in, you'll find, he did his study and his work is based in science, that information comes into us at 11 million bits per second. So is it any wonder that we delete, distort, and generalize that information that comes in, because the brain can't handle that amount of information, can it? Imagine, if you will, that it was 11 million toothpicks per second that were coming in. So reach out your hands and hold them in front of you. How many toothpicks are you able to hold? I'm going to tell you, it's not 11 million. So what happens is the information comes in through our filters, it gets deleted, distorted, and generalized. And it comes in oftentimes through the filters, our emotions, our physiology, our body language, and it turns into, after it goes through all of our filters, it turns into about 128 bits per second. So this is why, I just want to give you a little example. This is why when you have a conversation with somebody and you know you were at the same event and their interpretation of the experience is totally different than your recollection, well, that's because of this. The information came in at 11 million bits per second. You deleted, distorted, and generalized it based on your filters, and your friend or family member distorted, deleted, or generalized everything based on their filters. And as a result, you have a situation where there's two different results. This often happens in my family of siblings when we're talking about past events, especially from 20 years ago. The things are totally different. We remember it totally different based on our filters. So what happens is then it turns into a different memory or a recollection, and it generates a different behavior. So for example, in that situation, something happens. So for example, it's a new situation, like it going to a networking event for the first time, or a new networking function for the first time. It's a new situation. All of this, so what'll happen is you'll go into it thinking, okay, new situation, you will delete, distort, and generalize everything as a result of what's happening in you. That'll cause you to run a behavior or a strategy in your brain that will cause a behavior, and it's based on your experience. So in my situation, I struggled with networking way back when I first started networking. I was terrified of networking. I don't know if you are. Going out and meeting new people was terrifying for me. So my behavior was to shrink, to hide, to go into a corner, to find one person that I knew and go and talk to them for the whole night, which defeats the purpose of networking, right? Because you're there to meet new people. So now I run a different pattern because I've had many, many great experiences networking. And so my behavior is different now. So I'm hoping that explains what happens inside your brain and how it's wired, and why you might react to a situation differently than somebody else in the same situation. It's because of the filters that you've run, the experience that you've had, and the strategies that you're running in your brain that cause you to have a different behavior. I also want to tell you a little bit about your mind. And this is what we call the mind model. So you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that line there is called the critical faculty. Here's the thing. About 10% of your mind is your conscious mind. So your conscious mind is that part of you who's watching this video and who's listening to me right now. That's your conscious mind. 10%. The unconscious mind is the part of you that runs the body and is responsible for your emotions and remembers everything. The critical faculty is the part of you that cares to distinguish between real and imaginary. So let's talk a little bit about the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is symbolic. It actually cannot process negatives. This is really huge when I share this with people for the first time. You know how you say, don't slip? All the unconscious mind hears is slip. Don't fall. All the unconscious mind hears is fall. So when you say to yourself, oh, I shouldn't do this, the unconscious mind goes, oh, we need to go do that. So be really careful about how you talk to yourself, because all of the words that you use program your unconscious mind, and it doesn't hear the negative. So focus on the positive. Here's one. Don't think of a blue tree now. Hopefully you got a vision and an image of a blue tree in your head before it even came up. Here's another concept I want you to know about. This is the gray zone. There are a lot of people out there in this world who exist in the gray zone. They don't have really good times and they don't have really bad times. They're just existing. Here's the thing. The importance in life and the joy in life is when you fully feel the good and You go into the bad and come out of it pretty quickly. And we need to feel all of our emotions all of the time to have the best life. Don't you think? I believe that when you get out of your comfort zone, and we've seen this with many other people, when you break out of your comfort zone, when you try new things, when you expand it, that's when magic happens. That's when things happen in your business. You attract new people, you find new clients, things just happen. So it's important to expand your comfort zone. And the best way I know to expand your comfort zone is to try new things and prove to yourself that you're safe and that it actually works. You have something called a reticular activating system. This is a part of your brain. It's an actual part in your brain, and it helps you to create your reality. So for example, have you ever noticed that when you buy a car, you found a car that's perfect for you, and before you bought that car or even started thinking about that car, nobody else was driving those. You didn't see much of them on the road. As soon as you decide that that's the car that you're going to get, that's what you want, you're focusing on that, all of a sudden you'll notice them all over the place. Because what you're focusing on creates your reality. That's one example. Another one is, if you're constantly looking for the good in others, you will find the good in others. If you're constantly looking for bad things to happen to you, guess what? That's what you'll be able to focus on. If you're looking for negatives, that's what you'll find. And if you're looking for the silver linings or the positives, that's what you'll find. So focus. You will always find what you focus on. So focus on what you want. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can, you are right. Because here's the thing, your will versus your imagination. Your willpower is never as strong as your imagination. Your imagination will always win. I want to share with you some of my clients' successes. This is Kelly. She runs Ginkgo Design. Kelly came to me because she was just about at the 5-year mark in her business, and she wanted to be more successful. Within a year of working with me, she had tripled her revenue. Anna Cruz, another great example, already successful in her business, and within a year of working with me, she had increased her revenue by 365%. What's even better is that they both have more clarity, more confidence. They now believe in their potential. And these are just 2 client examples. I have many more on my website, successandclarity.com. I want you truly to celebrate your success. You will have more clarity and success and confidence when you focus on all of your achievements, all of your accomplishments, all of good things. And I will tell you, quite frankly, that many people who have worked with me know exactly what action steps they need to take in order to grow their business, and they have increased communication and leadership. In many cases, other things have happened that that we weren't even prepared for. I've seen medical situations get cleared up. Medications drop down as a result of clearing up the negative emotions and limiting beliefs that are keeping people stuck. And those are just some of the benefits that people have had with working with me. The most important thing is that you need to invest in yourself for your success. Whether you take the time or you spend the money, it's really important that you continue to do your self-development. Because being an entrepreneur can feel lonely. Why struggle alone when you can follow a proven path to your success? Now remember, several of my past clients have tripled their yearly revenue, and I'm going to tell you, so can you. They've achieved success. This works for you. Working with me works for you. So book a clarity session with me today. It's free. It's 1 hour of your time and mine. We'll connect. We'll get to know each other. You'll fill out a couple of questions in advance, And so I can get a really good idea of where you are. And then if I have a solution for you, I'm going to offer it to you. I hope you don't mind. I like to share my passion with you. Because overall, I really want you to stop being invisible. It's time. It's time to stop being invisible because it's only going to keep you small. Even worse, the people who need you are still going to stay in pain and they're going to continue to suffer. So it's imperative that you get out and you become invincible because you're here to make a difference in the world. To be successful in your business, people need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. And you're meant to live your life to the fullest and serve as many people as possible. So book your clarity session today. It's free. 1 hour of your time and mine will connect and get to know each other. Thanks for being here. Thanks for staying to the end. Thanks for listening. Go to my website, successandclarity.com. You'll see a button there that says schedule your clarity session now. You'll enter in your information, and then what will happen is you'll be sent a link to my website to book in a time that works for both of us. I'm so excited you came today and that you were interested in learning how to move from being invisible to invincible, and I can't wait to chat with you. Have a great day.